Hey guys, my name is Amelia.
My name is Jocelyn.
And today we'll be cooking cream cheese brownies. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're gonna go ahead and preheat the oven to 350 degrees.
Okay, and right here we have 3 ounces of the Hershey-free, sugar-free Hershey's chocolate, and we're gonna put these in the microwave and have them melted.
We're gonna do it for about 20 seconds. Yes. And now we wait. So in about a second, I'll go and take it out and then stir it. So it's not quite melted yet, but we kind of want to distribute the heat equally. Okay, we'll do about 30 seconds this time. All right. Now we'll stir it again. All right, the consistency is a little bit more melted. So we're gonna go ahead and continue the recipe. All right. Okay. So now we have 1/3 cup of Truvia baking blend. So we'll go ahead and put that in our bowl. Perfect. And then we have 2 eggs here. So we'll go ahead and crack the 2 eggs. Here, you can do one.
Okay.
Perfect.
Great.
All right.
There you go.
I'll put that in the trash.
Okay. And now we're gonna get 2 teaspoons of the vanilla. And we're gonna just put some in there. Great.
Perfect.
All right.
All right, and then now we just mix it up.
Okay. In a small bowl, we're gonna have 2 tablespoons of the unsweetened Hershey cocoa powder. We're gonna pop it right here in the bowl. Okay, and then it's gonna be 1/4 of the teaspoons of salt. And then 3/4 cups of the flour.
So here we're using blanched almond flour. So, okay. We're almost there. Okay, so that's 3/4 almond flour, and then we'll stir it in.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, and now we're gonna mix our 2 mixtures together.
So here, just making sure that we're mixing everything in together. The cocoa powder should not be dry, so just mix everything. Okay. All right, so now we're gonna pour our mixture into our baking pan, but before that, we're gonna coat it with some avocado oil so it doesn't stick. All right, then we can go ahead and pour our mixture in.
Okay. You want to make sure you get all of the mixture out.
And then while this sits in the oven, we're gonna make our cream cheese top that goes on top of the brownie.
That's it.
So I got my scooper, we're gonna scoop the rest of this out. Every last bit counts. All right. So now we have our melted chocolate. We're gonna put it into our brownie mix and then we're gonna swirl it.
Yeah.
We're gonna swirl this up to make it look a little bit more swirly.
Okay, so now that we already mixed the chocolate into the batter, we're gonna now put it into the oven for 40 to 45 minutes.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
And now we wait.
Okay, timer is gonna be set for, we'll do 40 minutes first. Okay, it's set. Okay, so now we're gonna make the cream cheese swirl that goes on top of the brownies. So we're gonna start out with 8 ounces of softened cream cheese. All right, we're gonna plop that right into the bowl here.
Okay. Perfect.
Awesome, look at that. All right.
We're gonna add 2 of the tablespoons of the Truvia baking blend. Great, 1 more. Okay, and then we're gonna have just a pinch of salt. All right. And then now we're gonna go in with our 2 teaspoons of vanilla. One, and then one more. Okay, great.
Perfect. And then we're gonna go ahead and mix it all up. Okay, and then now I forgot to add the butter, or we forgot to video the butter, so I did add 10 tablespoons of butter and then put it into our mix. So we're gonna go ahead and put it back in the oven.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Great.
All right. And then we also added 1 egg to the cream cheese topping.
Yes.
And then we'll mix it again.
Yes.
All right, so we took out our brownie. It is all good. We tested it with a toothpick. And now we're gonna go ahead and put the cream cheese swirl on top.
Yes.
I think that's good.
Now I have a spoon. We're just gonna evenly spread it out. All right, and now we'll let it sit for a little bit and then we'll indulge in it. Today we'll be making 0 carb French toast.
Yes.
All right, so for this recipe, you'll need 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and then another teaspoon of vanilla, and then 5 eggs and 8 ounces of cream cheese. All right, so first step, we're gonna go ahead and put the cream cheese in a bowl. We're gonna mix all this up.
We'll start with the eggs first.
All right, so now we'll put in the 1 teaspoon of baking powder.
The 1 teaspoon of cinnamon.
And now we'll do 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Thank you.
No problem.
Perfect. And now we'll go ahead and mix. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and spray our muffin sheet, and then we're gonna put our French toast batter in each of the muffin cutouts. Okay, we'll start with that. If we need more, we'll spray more of the muffin cutouts. Let's go ahead and scoop this up. Fill it a little bit more than halfway.
Okay, and then she'll do the next 4. About halfway. That's good. Okay, and then 1 more.
Okay.
Perfect.
Good.
All right, and then now we'll put this in the oven for 350 degrees for about 20 to 25 minutes. All right, and now we wait.
Yes.
All right, so we let the muffins sit for a little bit. We took it out, and then, yeah, they're here. They look golden, they're beautiful, and we're just gonna let this sit before we eat it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And today we're going to be making the blueberry muffins. So over here we have all the recipes that you're going to need to incorporate for these muffins. So first you're going to need the 2 cups of avocado oil.
Yeah, and then we're also gonna need 1 cup of date sugar.
You're going to need the 3 eggs room temperature.
And then 3/4 cup of white whole wheat flour.
Then you're going to want 2 cups of the almond flour. Oh, one. I'll
Or
say
half, yeah.
Half. Mm-hmm.
And then 1/4 tablespoon of salt.
And then you're gonna need the 2 teaspoons of the baking powder.
And 3/4 cup of blueberries.
And lastly, the 1-2 tablespoons of reduced fat milk.
Perfect. All right, so now we're gonna preheat the oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. All right, so while that's going, we'll go ahead and make our mixture.
Okay, so now with your 3 eggs, you're gonna put them into this little bowl. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna whisk them until they become a little bit fluffy. And then over here, my colleague is gonna use the avocado oil and the date sugar to mix into the bowl until it's slightly,
It's like a white, should be like a fluffy substance. Okay. So we'll go ahead and put this in the bowl while she's beating the eggs. Make sure you get all the oil in there, and then the date sugar as well. All right. And then also while this is mixing, you want to make sure to scrape down the sides so that everything gets mixed in together. Okay. All right, so while she does that, I'm going to go ahead and mix it. All right, so now we're going to put the eggs, the whole wheat flour, and the baking powder, and then also the salt into the bowl, and then we'll mix it all up.
okay. So we're gonna start adding all of them in.
And now the salt.
All right.
Perfect. And
Great.
then we'll go ahead and mix it up. All right, and then while this is stirring, you want to make sure, same thing with the date sugar and the oil as well. You want to make sure to scrape off the sides so that everything gets mixed in. So while this is going, we'll go ahead and add our almond flour a little at a time. Want to make sure it goes down the side. All right, now I'm gonna stop it for a little bit to scrape off the sides. Perfect. So everything is scraped off the sides. We'll go ahead and resume our mixing. Make sure it's locked. Perfect. And then while this is going, we'll go ahead and crush our blueberries. All right, now I'm gonna add 1/2 tablespoons of the reduced fat milk. All right. So yeah, while it's still stirring, we're gonna go ahead and mash up our blueberries. All right, so we got the blueberries all crushed. I'm gonna go ahead and stop this. We're gonna add the blueberries in, and then we're gonna fold it in with our little spatula there, okay?
Okay, we're gonna just put them right in there. Perfect. Okay.
Awesome. And now we're gonna go ahead and take this off so I can mix in the blueberries. All right, so we're just gonna fold them in, not really mix it super hard, but just enough where it's kind of all spread around.
Okay, so now we're gonna set the cupcake little cups into the cupcake pan, and then we're gonna start scooping up our batter and placing them into the cupcake holders.
And then we'll fill it up to about 3/4 way because it will rise in the oven. Alright, so the oven is already preheated to 375 degrees Fahrenheit, and we'll go ahead and put the oven for about 20 to 22 minutes. Okay.
Alright, put them right in there.
Alright, and now we wait.
Jocelyn?
And today we'll be making turkey meatballs. So we're gonna need a pound of turkey.
And then we're gonna need half teaspoon of garlic powder,
And then half teaspoon of onion powder,
half teaspoon of cumin powder.
half teaspoon of oregano,
Then we're gonna need 2 teaspoons of the parsley.
2 teaspoons of the sesame oil,
And then we're gonna need 1 egg.
and 1 chopped onion. And then salt and pepper. All right, so while I chop up the oregano and the onion, we're gonna go ahead and put in the dry ingredients, and then we're gonna mix it into our turkey meatball, okay?
Yes. So now we're gonna add in the garlic powder first. Then we're gonna go in with our onion powder. Great. And then we're gonna go in with the ground cumin. Okay, great.
All right, so the oregano is all chopped up. I'll go ahead and put it in our bowl. And then we're also gonna cut up the white onion. And then we're gonna put in the 2 teaspoons of the sesame oil while I chop up the parsley.
Okay, you go first.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna start adding the sesame oil. Great. And you're gonna need about 2 tablespoons of these.
All right, onion is all chopped up. We'll put it in the bowl, and then we'll put in our 1 egg to put into the mix as well.
We're gonna add the egg now.
Now also chop up some parsley.
All right.
All right, parsley is all chopped up. I'll put it right in here. All right, now we'll go ahead and mix in all the ingredients. So this will help beat the egg as well as mash up the turkey. And then while this, we can kind of stir it, add everything in.
Okay, so now for this next step, we're having the stove in the medium heat, and we're gonna spray some avocado oil and then form the little mixture that we made into little meatball balls, and then just put them into the pan.
Yeah, we're gonna cook it for about 6 to 8 minutes until it's that golden brown that you like to see on your meatballs. All right, let's go ahead and get started.
Okay.
Okay, spray it with the avocado oil. Perfect. All right, we made our first meatballs. We're gonna go ahead and put it in the saucepan.
Okay. All right. Okay, I think they're sizzling now.
Yeah. All right. Gotta wash our hands. All right, so it's about 5 to 6 minutes in. I'm gonna go ahead and flip the meatballs. All right, so we're going ahead and flipping the meatballs once again. You can see they're turning pretty golden brown. Flip that around. Okay. Amelia.
And we're gonna be making the garlic roasted salmon and Brussels sprouts dish. So all we're gonna for the ingredients that are gonna be incorporated for this are the Brussels sprouts.
We're gonna do Chardonnay for the white wine.
We're gonna have some salt on the side.
And garlic.
We're gonna also have the black pepper.
And oregano.
And then we're gonna also have like the extra virgin oil. And then
we have the 2 pounds of salmon.
yes.
Awesome.
So yeah, so we're gonna start preparing it and show you guys how to make it.
All right, now we're gonna go ahead and preheat the oven to 450 degrees Fahrenheit. While that's preheating, we're gonna go ahead and do our Brussels sprouts with the dressing on top, and our salmon will sit on the side and wait. Okay. All right guys, so we went ahead and put our minced garlic into the bowl here. We're also gonna add in some black pepper and oregano. All right, so while I cut up the oregano, we're gonna go ahead and put the salt and the pepper in the bowl as well.
There you go. Okay, wait.
All right, and we'll put this in as well. Perfect. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and add 3/4 cup of the extra virgin olive oil. I'm gonna go ahead and add that in. This will be our drizzle for the Brussels sprouts.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and mix that in.
Now we're gonna get our Brussels sprouts and put this in the casserole dish. We can put them here. Perfect. And then we're gonna drizzle it with the oil that we're mixing with all of our products in it, all over the Brussels sprouts. Okay, good.
All right, guys, my mistake. I put the 3/4 of the Chardonnay white wine in first, which is totally fine. That's what the recipe calls for. But we're gonna add some extra virgin olive oil, drizzle on top. We promise we did not have any before filming. All right, and then we're gonna all like kind of mush it all together. Make sure all the Brussels sprouts are coated.
So now that the Brussels sprouts are all marinated, we're gonna put this into the oven and we're gonna put it for about 15 minutes.
Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect. All right. Okay. Hey guys, we're back. It's past 15 minutes, so we're gonna go ahead and check on the Brussels sprouts. And looks like they are good, so we're gonna go ahead and take them out and then put the salmon on top.
Beautiful.
Awesome. All right, so first we're gonna stir the Brussels sprouts just to kind of mix it up. It's sizzling.
It's already looking good though.
Yeah, it's looking really good.
Okay, so let's go here.
All right, and then now we're gonna put this in for another 10 to 15 minutes on the same temperature. Awesome, all right, now we wait. All right guys, so the salmon's all done and the Brussels sprouts, so we'll go ahead and take it out right now.
Okay.
Woo!
Wow.
That looks so good. All right, it is done. And today we'll be making a broccoli Mediterranean salad.
Yes.
All right, so let's go ahead and get started. First we have broccoli. That'll be 2.5 cups of chopped broccoli. So we have that right here. So do you want to add that in?
Yes, of course.
All right, and then we also have a cup of artichoke hearts. So go ahead. And we have about 1/2 cup of chopped sun-dried tomatoes. And then we have some pitted olives here to give it that Mediterranean with a little bit of salty taste. We didn't chop them up or anything, they're just pitted. So that, and then we have 1/2 of a chopped red onion. So we'll go ahead and do that. And then some sunflower seeds.
Yes.
Yay.
Yeah, beautiful.
All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and mix this right in, and then we'll make the dressing.
Yeah. Okay, so now we're gonna be making the dressing for our little salad. So we're gonna have 1 cup of the Greek yogurt.
Perfect. All right, put that right in. Okay.
All right, and now we're gonna be going in with our large lemon juice with a little bit of zest. Okay, and then we're gonna have 2 teaspoons of the monk fruit.
So monk fruit is like a sweetener. It's not like sugar, it's a little bit more on the healthier side. So that'll be good for diabetics.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, then we're gonna have some of our 1 teaspoon of the dried oregano.
Okay, that was one.
Okay, and then we're gonna go in with the 1 teaspoon of the basil. Okay,
All right.
1 teaspoon of the ground thyme leaves.
My nails.
All right, and then a pinch of salt. Okay, a little bit of pepper.
Thank you.
About 1 tablespoon of the oil from the dried tomatoes. Now we're gonna go in with the 1 teaspoon of the garlic.
All right.
Okay.
And now we'll go ahead and mix this all in and then put it right into the salad.
To our little broccoli mixture, and Amelia here is gonna be stirring it in and having it nice and well.
Okay, we're all done with our broccoli Mediterranean salad, and we hope you enjoy.
Thank you.
Thank you.